Recruiting is the lifeblood of college football, a reality show on steroids with plot lines that could make even the Real Housewives gasp. It's a 24/7 spectator sport with twists that could rival M. Night Shyamalan.
I see dead people.
Because of the high stakes and fast growing environment, it takes some of the most energetic and enigmatic men in coaching to thrive as recruiters. The best ones in college football possess an electric fire and a raw, unfiltered vigor that set them apart. Their boundless enthusiasm is palpable, a magnetic force that draws in everyone around them. These guys are enigmas. Some are part motivational speaker, part used car salesman, with the stubbornness and laser-focused vision of a Silicon Valley CEO. And they know just how to flip the switch to get young men to buy in, body and soul. The best recruiters don't just get kids to commit. They make you believe you can run through brick walls and come out the other side grinning.
There's the announcement. USC gets another guy. Pete Carroll is just continuing to rack up the talent.
Energy around the program. Great recruiting class. The Ohio State quarterback coming in. Fran Brown brings a lot of energy, a lot of experience.
Deion Sanders has had a massive recruiting win in every single cycle, going back to Jackson State.
The first five-star high school football prospect to sign with an FCS team since ESPN started its rankings in 2006.
Long before he became a head coach known for building tough defensive fronts and instilling a fierce team culture, Ed Orgeron was celebrated as one of the nation's top recruiters. This guy's intensity and passion were off the charts. Imagine knocking on a prospect's door at 4 a.m. just to secure a commitment. That's the lengths Orgeron went to. In Bruce Feldman's book Meat Market, there's several great stories about Ed Orgeron during his time in college football. While at the University of Miami, Orgeron allegedly threw defensive tackle Warren Sapp out of practice due to attitude issues. But he didn't stop there. He challenged Sapp, telling him that if he was so tough to show up behind Green Tree practice field at midnight. This was classic Orgeron. Intense, fearless, and always pushing his players to the limit. In the year 2000, Orgeron, working for a rebuilding USC program, beat out Notre Dame to land Sean Cody, at the time the nation's top high school defensive lineman. Orgeron sold Cody's dad, a lifelong Fighting Irish fan, on the vision of turning his son into a surefire NFL star and leading USC back to football prominence. This level of personal connection, persuasive charm, and sheer audacity are what make the great recruiters legends in the game. Not just closing deals, but weaving dreams that are too compelling to resist. Orgeron also discovered the unheralded 5'11" to 280-pound Mike Patterson at a summer football camp, giving him the name Baby Sapp. Despite initial resistance from head coach Paul Hackett, Orgeron convinced new head coach Pete Carroll to offer Patterson a scholarship. Carroll was sold, and the rest is USC football history. Patterson and Cody, along with some recruits you may have heard of, Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart, became the backbone of two national title teams, all while Orgeron was USC's recruiting coordinator. The class of 2003 was a goldmine for USC. Before Orgeron and his crew, USC's football revenue was $38.6 million in 2002. By 2005, thanks to their recruits, that number ballooned to $60.7 million. One of Orgeron's most remarkable and bizarre recruiting pitches involves Heisman winner Adrian Peterson. While at USC, Orgeron went to extraordinary lengths to secure Peterson's commitment, even attempting to relocate Peterson's incarcerated father from a Texas prison to Los Angeles. At the time, Adrian's father could only watch Oklahoma games on TV, which gave the Sooners an edge. Orgeron believed that moving him to a facility where he could watch USC games would enhance their chances.
But I felt like he and I were very tight. What is the key to getting you here at USC? Adrian said, Coach, my dad is be able to watch my games where he's at. Well, if I go to Oklahoma, I tried to get the guy transferred to Los Angeles. Yeah, tried. Yeah. I competed. Couldn't get it done, but I competed.
Peterson ultimately chose Oklahoma, but Orgeron's dedication and relentless approach left a lasting impression.
It came down to Oklahoma and USC. Like, it was really a tough decision for me.
Recruiting is equal parts dreams and nightmares for coaches, especially in 2024, when social media turns every swipe and follow into a headline. It's like a parallel universe with its own baffling, convoluted rules that don't align with a regular football season. It's a circus of speculation and rumor, with websites like Twitter, 247 Sports, and On3 constantly fueling the frenzy. Each program has someone glued into these networks, sifting through the noise for any scrap of intel that might give them an edge. Coaches might pretend they don't care about these rankings, but behind the scenes, it's a frantic scramble to stay on top. Sites similar to 247 and On3 have always been essential in the chaotic world of recruiting. Even during the nascent years of the online recruiting industry, on National Signing Day in 2007, Rivals.com raked in a staggering 74.5 million page views, nearly 5 times what MSNBC managed on election night just a few months earlier. So while some coaches may project an air of indifference toward 5-star hype and recruiting websites, the reality is they're fervently strategizing and battling each other in the intense game of talent acquisition. It's a 247 battle with On3, ESPN, and Rivals always keeping score. Over the years, Miami has had its share of recruiting mishaps, misses, and busts. Enter Mario Cristobal, a coach with deep roots in Miami football and a relentless drive for success. Cristobal played high school football at Christopher Columbus High School in Miami before going on to play for the Hurricanes, where he was a 4-year letterman between 1988 and 1992. Under Hall of Fame coaches Jimmy Johnson and Dennis Erickson, Cristobal was part of 2 national championship winning teams. In 1992, he earned first-team All-Big East Conference honors as an offensive tackle. After graduating from the University of Miami in 1993 with a Bachelor of Business Administration, Cristobal briefly played professionally. He signed a free agent contract with the Denver Broncos in 1994 and played for the Amsterdam Admirals of NFL Europe in 1995 and 1996. In 1998, he turned down a job offer from the Secret Service to begin his coaching career, starting as a graduate assistant at the University of Miami under Butch Davis. Cristobal's recruiting accolades are numerous and impressive. He was recognized as the National Recruiter of the Year by 247 Sports in 2015 while at Alabama, and ranked number 2 nationally in 2016. This reputation followed him to Oregon, where he continued to excel in recruiting. Shortly after being named head coach in 2018, Cristobal led Oregon to sign the number 13 recruiting class nationally. He elevated Oregon's recruiting efforts, landing the number 6 class in the nation in 2019, the highest ranked class in program history at the time. His 2021 class featured 6 players that were rated the number 1 football player in their respective states. Cristobal also made a significant cultural impact, leading Oregon to win 2 Pac-12 titles in 2019 and 2020, and guiding the Ducks to historic wins, including a memorable victory over Ohio State in 2021. At Miami, Cristobal's recruiting success builds on his previous accomplishments. He arrived late into the recruiting cycle in December 2021, and the class was initially ranked in the 70s. Despite this, he was able to turn things around quickly, finishing with the top 16 class nationally. In 2023, Cristobal snagged the 7th overall recruiting class, and in 2024, he outdid himself by landing the 4th overall class according to 247 Sports. His knack for connecting with recruits and pitching the Miami dream has been a game changer. This success hasn't just brought top-tier talent for starting positions, but has also deepened the bench with quality players, significantly elevating the overall caliber of athletes across the depth chart. The aim of all college football recruiting programs is pretty straightforward, yet incredibly challenging. Take 500 or so prospects, hammer them down to between 25 and 50 guys you really want, offer a few, let down a couple, juggle some more, and ultimately only bring in between 25 and 30 of them, all the while balancing NIL deals, playing time, roster turnover, and other teams tampering with your best players. Recruiting point blank is a brutal game. Coaches are constantly evaluating talent to ensure that each recruit can make the team better. Lincoln Riley, for instance, emphasizes that every scholarship offered is to a player who can potentially start from day 1. This relentless pursuit of talent is why Miami's Mario Cristobal places such a strong emphasis on recruiting. By identifying and bringing in top recruits, he aims to build a roster capable of competing at the highest levels and out-athleting the teams the Hurricanes should absolutely dominate. Not just about filling slots, it's about stacking the deck with blue-chip prospects who can execute his vision. Cristobal has nearly mastered the talent acquisition portion of the game, consistently bringing in top-tier recruiting classes. However, his game day coaching has often fallen short of expectations. In 2023, Miami lost several games by narrow margins, including a head-scratching 31-24 defeat to Rutgers in the Pinstripe Bowl. Cristobal's controversial timeout management came under heavy criticism in this game. Despite leading in the second half, Miami gave up 17 straight points, ultimately losing the game and ending the season on a disappointing note. Cristobal's decision to hang on to his timeouts instead of using them to stop the clock and give his team a chance to score drew significant ire from fans and analysts alike. Miami found itself down 31-17 late in the game, scored to close the gap, recovered an onside kick, but ran out of time with 2 unused timeouts still in hand. Many criticized Cristobal's game management, pointing to specific instances where better decisions could have changed the outcome. The Hurricanes' close losses, including a 41-31 defeat to North Carolina after leading at halftime, highlight the critical need for improved in-game coaching to complement the recruiting efforts. Against North Carolina, Miami's defense faltered in the second half, allowing North Carolina to score 24 unanswered points. Other tight losses included a 38-31 nail-biter against Louisville, where Miami led entering the fourth quarter but allowed 2 late touchdowns due to defensive lapses and conservative play calling. Perhaps the most heart-wrenching was a 21-20 defeat against Georgia Tech, marked by an infamous coaching blunder where Cristobal opted not to kneel the ball to run out the clock. Instead, Miami fumbled, and Georgia Tech capitalized with a last-second touchdown, a loss that will go down as one of the worst in Miami history. In the offseason, following an unexpectedly mediocre 2023 football season, Cristobal continued to do what he does best. He went out and grabbed several highly coveted players in the transfer portal. These additions further molded the roster in his image, infusing it with his ethos. The team now pulses with Cristobal's vision, leaving behind only a handful of Manny Diaz recruits. Players like Jalen Rivers, Jacoby George, Xavier Restrepo, and Chase Smith. Restrepo, despite being brought in under Diaz, has fully embraced the Cristobal era, diving headfirst into the new culture and mindset. Beyond these few, the roster is a testament to Cristobal's vision, from depth pieces to starters, making the Manny Diaz era feel like a fading memory. From 2022 to 2024, Cristobal's recruiting efforts at Miami have been nothing short of transformative, marked by several high-profile flips and exceptional evaluations. Cristobal secured 5-star defensive linemen Armando Blunt and Justin Scott, flipping them from Florida State and Ohio State respectively, cementing Miami's top-ranked defensive line class for 2024. Additionally, he flipped 4-star running back Jordan Lyle from Ohio State and linebacker Adarius Hayes from the University of Florida. Not only has Mario been a great recruiter, but he's also shown exceptional talent as an evaluator. His keen eye for talent was evident in the recruitment of Inez Cooper, a 3-star prospect who has blossomed into a valuable asset for the Hurricanes. Take Connor Liu, for instance. Cristobal was one of the first Power 5 coaches to extend an offer to Liu, recognizing his potential early on. Liu ultimately chose Auburn. As a true freshman in 2023, Liu stepped up to start at center midway through the season after an injury to the starter. His performance earned him SEC Freshman of the Week honors and a spot on the SEC All-Freshman team and 247 Freshman All-American team. By his sophomore year, he was a returning starter and emerging team leader, even being elected to Auburn's Culture Council. His dedication and performance on the field have positioned him as one of the most promising young centers in all of college football. Fans and pundits agree that this is a pivotal year for Miami to prove itself. With the continuity provided by Lance Guidry and Shannon Dawson, now in their second year as defensive and offensive coordinators respectively, the team has a solid foundation. The roster is stacked with talent in crucial positions, and quarterback Cam Ward, known for his play-extending ability, deadly accuracy, and a career completion percentage of 66%, is ready to lead the Canes and embark on an NFL journey himself. Why does Miami need to win now? Because the stars will likely not align like this again. Mario may never get a one-year quarterback as talented as Cam Ward ever again. Miami has a unique chance to capitalize on its assembled talent and make a huge splash in college football this year. In the backfield, the team has 2 stud, do-it-all running backs in Damian Martinez and Mark Fletcher Jr., with young guys like Jordan Lyle and Chris Johnson Jr. adding depth and potential. The offensive line faces the challenge of replacing a few key players but returns 3 battle-hardened veterans eager for redemption. They are also led by 2 of the best offensive line coaches in the country in Alex Mirabal and Mario Cristobal. On defense, the linebacker corps is bolstered by the return of Wesley Besant and Francisco Kiko Malinoa, with the addition of transfer Jalen Alderman adding depth and speed. Kiko was a breath of fresh air for Miami last year and is a true 3-down linebacker who can excel both off the ball and on the line of scrimmage. Wesley found his stride last year as well, contributing 32 tackles and 2 sacks. You might remember seeing him frequently in the backfield, and you'd be correct. He recorded 13 total quarterback pressures as Guidry effectively utilized them in blitzing situations. The defensive line rotation, who I've spoken about before in a video you may have seen, will feature returning players like ACC Defensive Rookie of the Year Ruben Bain Jr. and Akeem Messidor, along with newcomers like Elijah Alston and Tyler Barron. The defensive backfield remains a slight concern. Incoming transfers Mish Powell and Deani Hill will need to exceed expectations to solidify this unit. Anchored by Daryl Porter Jr., one of the nation's top returning man coverage corners, his leadership and skill will be crucial to the success of this defense. All the defensive backs will benefit from Miami having one of the most intimidating front sevens in the country. The defensive line boasts a deadly rotation of players who maintain a high level of talent, ensuring there's no drop-off when the starters need relief. For all these reasons, Miami needs to win big this season, clinch an ACC title, and push for a college football playoff run this season. Winning is the best way to turn whispers of the past into roars of the present. As Ed Orgeron once said, you either compete or get out of the way. For Miami, the time is now to compete. While the football world still reverberates from Miami's past glory 24 years ago, those echoes are starting to fade. It's not lost on me or most Cane fans just how much Mario has turned this roster around in just 3 seasons. I appreciate great recruiting, and it's very exciting for the program. But still, it's been a very long time since Miami has won big in college football. Too long. The legacy of Miami's past can no longer sustain its future. For Cristobal, every victory is a magnet, pulling in the next generation of Hurricanes. Stay tuned, guys, because this season the Hurricanes have the talent and the determination to make a statement. As always, guys, thank you guys for watching this video. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe and like. I have a lot more coming soon, and this is just the off season. Thank you guys for watching, and go Canes!